gonna start this off. Welcome to the show.
It's not
Bunch of fucking bullshit.
It's not
Shut up!
turntablism.
I hate you so much.
Shut the fuck up, Johnny. Dude, I fucking hate that.
So fucking lit, bro. Holy shit.
Dude. So fucking rad. Holy shit. That was, of course, Archeron, or Acheron. Archeron. Archeron / Unearthing the Orb by The Sword on their album Warp Riders. One of my fave bands of all time. Fucking rad. I'm starting a D&D campaign tomorrow. Gonna be so sick. That song is going to be the opening song when a bunch of zombies come in and rush the players. And they're all going to just go off in a fucking metal battlefield of gore, limbs, and violence. It's going to be fucking rad. So, that's going to be tight. But in the meantime, welcome back. Things I Hate, 67, dude. Back in the joint. It's feeling good now. I was shook the last couple times, but I'm feeling so fucking good. I'm working out a lot. Check it out. Muscles, bitch. I mean, muscles, bitch. Muscles! Fucking tight, dude. Trying to get jacked up, you know? I'm feeling so tight, though, because I'm finally putting together all the things I hate bullshit and getting it all lined up. The last time I was like really doing it, whatever, like it was like a year or two ago. Fuck, yeah, it's been a minute. But like, it was so hard to keep up with everything because everything was kind of like disorganized. This time I'm getting everything like really organized and lined up. Oh, fuck, where's my, okay, cool. You know, so it's like, I have a social media calendar. I'm doing it every week, right? 3 clips a week. By the time this episode comes out, all this shit will be like very much announced, you know? So I do feel a little bit bad about that it's like not real time. And maybe what I'll do is like spend a couple episodes so that like my bank and the real time of my life get a little closer, because it feels a little weird that like if everything goes according to plan, this episode should come out like around the start of December, which is like over a month from now. So, you know, anyway, but the point is like I have a plan. It's being executed. Everything's getting nice and fucking organized. All my clips are getting lined up because, okay, the whole point of this joint is if I'm going to make it as a comedian, if I'm going to make that my living, the easiest way that I'm seeing to do that based on my experience so far and like what I'm seeing is you get a following online. Because if you get a following online, it's basically like a credit. You either can amass legitimate credits, like I performed on fucking late night, like on Jimmy Fallon, or I performed on JFL, I performed here. Like you can amass those, And those will help if you get good enough credits. Then people, it's just like a resume, right? If you're like, oh yeah, I worked for Google, IBM, I was the VP, you know, that like does it in the tech world. In the comedy, it's the same shit. You just need like, you know, whatever the credits are. I'm a regular at the Comedy Cellar in New York. You know, that's like, it's a good credit. So either amass those, which I don't really have access to because of my skill level and because I'm in Montreal, right? You either amass those or you get a huge following online. And that's just like, yeah, here's my fucking credit. If you book me, I'll fill your room, right? Because like in order to make money, the promoters and bookers need to know that people are going to buy tickets to come see you. That's how people make money in this biz. Is now, from what I'm getting, it's like live events and then like comedy recordings played on Sirius XM. So that's kind of what I'm getting at. But it's all like a networking game. And the way to get your foot in the door is to have some fucking clout, have some rep. And how do you do that better than getting a following online? And the thing about online is like any shit can go viral, right? You just got to tweak the dials a bit until you fucking nail it. And, you know, while maintaining your artistic integrity. So that's what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to keep it honest with my bullshit, keep it entertaining, and then tweak the dials enough to fucking hit virality and get like 100K Instagram followers. If I got 100K Instagram followers, I'd be set. Even if I got like 50K, it'd be pretty tight. So 50K I think is the goal for now. And yeah, but I want to earn that. You know, I want to be funny and shit. I don't just want to like buy it or plead with everyone for them to follow. But that's the plan, is to gain a following, because then I can you know, get my foot in the door. Like, look, if you book me, you know, in city X, like 100 people will buy tickets. I don't know, whatever it is, you know. So that's the move. And the thing with the clips is I see it as basically like a lottery or like trial and error. You know, like I'm gonna fucking clip a clip, make sure it still like resonates with me, and then fucking hit it. And I did it on TikTok a while ago. You know, I got a clip that hit 230,000 views. You know, and I didn't have to do some bullshit meme or like I didn't have to whore out like a child or a grandparent. It was just me looking in the mic, telling a story, you know, and it hit 230K views. So I think I can do it, but I got to get a lot of reps in essentially and just like keep throwing shit at the wall until it sticks, and hopefully keep my artistic integrity. You know, that's what I got to do too. So anyway, that's the plan with all the clips and this new resurgence and things I hate. Besides, I wanted to get back to it, you know, and get back into it because it's good. But it serves a like it has utility in order in that it will hopefully gain me followers. And then B is like it's basically how I write jokes too. I think all of my best jokes have come out of things I hate, pretty much, you know. So all my writing besides it has been, it's been like I haven't really hit a flow and just sitting down with like fucking writing jokes. I wrote a couple like that and I ended up fucking hating them. Then I go on things I hate or I talk about it to someone and it just fucking starts to hit. So helps me writing jokes. So it's like double header utility, you know, fantastic. Well, I guess, yeah, this happened. What? How will I not stay in white clothes? I mean, every time I put on a white t-shirt, you know, or a white shirt, it just feels like I'm wearing a ticking time bomb. You know what I mean? I'm not a clean eater. Noodles, you know, slurping. That's like a fucking particle accelerator Jackson Pollock painting, you know. It's just because you slurp the noodles and then it's just chaos arrangement of where the end of that noodle is gonna hit, you know what I mean, when you slurp it up. So I've been studying, you know, the Asian technique of they put the chopsticks and they pinch the noodles in the bowl and then slurp so that like it handles all that, you know, inflatable man wackiness like inside of the bowl. Definitely not a pro at it yet. The point is, like, I'm fucking messy eater. So like wearing a white shirt, I'm just, you know, how will I not stain it? You know, I don't know how people wear that and they wear it in a relaxed way. If I wear white clothing, I'm like, and I'm going to eat, I'm like, You know, it feels like I'm diffusing a bomb. Like every time I put something to my mouth, or like I'm, you know, it's like I have to be so intentional about everything. It's like I'm having a cup of coffee. I'm like, okay, steady and back down, right? Where's the coffee? 20 degrees to my left, just beside my keyboard. Don't fucking spill it, right? Again, small sip, very small, tight lips on the corner so nothing dribbles out. Like I have to, you know, I have to plan like that, which is more a comment on like, dude, maybe you should try to work some of your white t-shirt habits into your regular eating routine so you don't eat like a pig at a fucking trough, you know? But it's like, fuck that. I like to relish in the delight when I eat, you know what I mean? I like to enjoy it. It's like, okay, damn, maybe you can enjoy it with a little less shrapnel flying around the room, you know? Fuck. Inner child hugging. This is all therapy shit. So I think I mentioned my therapist last time. She's like super hippy dippy, which I was definitely very prejudiced about, but she's giving me some real legit techniques. And the first thing that comes up is like, she's like, you need to hug your inner child, which I'm sure we've all heard phrases like that, you know, but she walked me through this guided meditation of like, it was just like picture your inner child. I can't really remember it, but the point is it had me in tears, right? I was bawling. It was amazing. It was really good. And what it comes from is like, I just basically like, you know, I try not to be mean to people, try not to be mean to other people, but you realize that, you know, you're being really mean to yourself. And I had already gone through this in old therapy sessions where it's like, be nice to yourself. But when you picture yourself as your inner child, right? And then you're mean to a child on the inside, that paints it in a real clear relief, right? If you're like, oh, you fucking idiot, like you messed up, but you imagine yourself saying that to you as a child, pretty quick you chill out, you know, or I did. And so I like now every time I'm going to beat myself up about something, I'm like, okay, stop, hug your inner child, right? Because it's like, anytime you have like a negative thought, like you're jealous or you're insecure or you're angry, you know, or whatever it is, you know what I mean? A lot of times it's your inner child reacting to some trauma or experience that you had as a kid, you know what I mean? And a lot of the time it's that child is like getting angry or scared or something. And so I just found if I stop and I literally visualize like me now hugging myself as a child, and it just fucking helps. It helps so much. It helps when I'm feeling insecure or angry or something. The other thing she told me is like, imagine a river and like, imagine it flowing all dope and fast. Then imagine if like you put a rock in it, like a big boulder, and it blocks the flow. You know, it slows down the flow. And then it's like, imagine you put more and more rocks. Eventually it's going to like flow way slower. You know what I mean? And I was just like, fuck. And it's a metaphor for like getting angry or like letting things bother you, or like not even getting angry, but like just all like things fucking up your life. So now another really good thing I do is like, if something's fucking up my life, I'm like, dude, remove the rock from the river. And it's all like hippy dippy shit. It's not like it's brand new ideas, but I found that these metaphors specifically and like tools have really helped. So, you know, just FYI, that shit happened. And then another thing that she said is, she was like, you know, you have all these negative thoughts, and she kind of described a bunch of personas that like would line up with negative thoughts. Like one was like the restless character, right? And the restless character is always like moving on to the next thing. Like they're kind of like, we have to do everything, we got to do this because they're trying to get the most out of life. But the irony is that by trying so hard to get the most out of life, they don't live in the moment, and so they miss out on life. And that really resonated with me because I definitely have that in me. I'm like, I have to fucking do D&D and comedy. I gotta exercise. You know, it's like chill. You know what I mean? So there was the restless. There was the judge, which is pretty self-explanatory. It was like, judging people, but they had these little phrases that like each of these characters had illustrated like a certain irony of basically like you're trying to do X by performing X negative thought, or you're trying to like prevent Y by performing X negative thought, but in reality, X negative thought is facilitating Y, right? Is accelerating Y occurring. You know what I mean? Because of how you're doing it. That was like kind of the gist. So there's a bunch of them, and one of them was the judge, right? Because I was at this party and I told her, I was like, I mean, if I'm being long story short, this girl came up and she was hitting on me, and I was like, I was not interested, you know, because I have a girlfriend, but you know, she wasn't cute and nothing. She was just, you know, I might have to edit that, but I was not attracted to her at all, you know, and so I was like, I felt better than her because I was like, how could you hit on someone who has no interest in you, which is so shitty, you know? But she was like, that's your judge, you know what I mean? Like, you're judging people. And she was like, you're judging that person because of whatever, some childhood trauma. I'm explaining this poorly, but it's like, one of the characters was the judge. So I wrote, my judge fucking stays out because I stay judging people. So I don't know. My alarm clock, dude. My alarm clock has a setting that shows it like you can have the time display in two ways. Regular, just time, and then you can have it time, and then it'll kind of flash and show the year and the date. But like specifically the year, like it changes a whole new display so that it has enough room to show the year. And I thought, damn, who's ever using the year time display, they're in the shit, you know? They're having a rough go. If you wake up and you're like, damn, what year is it? Like, I need to remind myself every morning, what year is it? Otherwise, my life won't go smoothly. Like, my heart goes out to you because you got some challenges going on that I can't fathom. If you need to be reminded of the year every day, crazy. Working out is bad for self-defense. Okay, working out is good for self-defense, right? Because you get stronger, you can beat people up. The irony though, going to the gym, after you leave the gym, you're all tired. What if somebody jumps you right after you leave the gym? Your arms are jelly, your legs are jelly. They're going to kick the shit out of you and steal your wallet, you know? Because I was doing home on the subway, and I was like, I could barely get down the escalator. I was like, man, somebody wanted to jump me right now, I would be so fucked, you know? You just repped out your max, you're all jellied up, and somebody goes, give me your wallet, pussy, and you lift up your arms to defend yourself, but you're like, dude, like, come back on leg day, you know? You're just fucked. So yeah, working out is good for self-defense because you need your muscles. But like, I hope I don't get jumped right after, you know, I do arms or legs or whatever. Hell's Angel comment, dude. I already talked about this way back on an old Things I Hate, but revisiting it, it's when I first moved to Montreal. I was like 18, and I came here I was at McGill. And I was super dumb because I was 18. And I was with this other friend of mine who was like, in a word, like more street smart. He was like poorer. He kind of grew up rougher. So he had like been around drugs and, you know, blah, blah, blah. He just knew the shit a bit. So I was hanging out with him. And he was like, he ordered drugs from some drug dealer. The drug dealer shows up. But before the drug dealer shows up, he's talking to me. And he's like, yeah, dude, like all the drugs in Montreal are run by the Hells Angels. And that blew my tiny 18-year-old mind, you know. I was like, what? Really? That's crazy. You know, I was like, I couldn't fathom. Right? In my head, I was like, what would a motorcycle gang have to do with drug dealing? I was like, they're too busy riding motorcycles. You guys can't sell drugs. Like, you got a full-time schedule on your motorcycle, you know? Like, what are you doing? you're breaking, you're changing industries. You know, you're fucking up the whole culture. You got to stay on your bike. You can't deal drugs. That's how I thought about them. When people would be like, "Oh yeah, the Hells Angels are a biker gang, and they're organized crime," I was like, "No, they're not. The mafia is organized crime. Hells Angels is a biker gang. They ride bikes and just like, I don't know, fucking have sex and break bars and, you know, trash bars and go to rock and roll concerts and shit. That's what gangs do. Haven't you seen movies? You know what I mean? Haven't you seen like 80s movies? They can't deal drugs. They're too busy wearing leather vests, dude, and getting sick tattoos, you know? Yeah. Yeah, okay. The Hells Angels are drug dealers. Sure, dude. Sure. Fucking watch a movie, bro. That's what I was thinking. So when my friend was like, yeah, they you know, they run Montreal. They do all the organized crime in Montreal. It blew my tiny fucking mind. And I was like, what? You know, ooh. And we were pretty drunk. And, you know, like, I'm a pretty direct person. You know, some might call that autistic or whatever on the spectrum. But, you know, read that, like case in point, this podcast, you know, I say it, I talk my shit, you know, I'm not too afraid to like get in deep and have some questions and shit. And I've always been that way. And I'm a white man, so it's like I've never really had consequences for like saying the wrong thing. You know, I mean, in short, like grew up rich again. Grew up rich white, a rich white man, you know, comparatively. I'm not fucking Bezos, but, you know, upper middle class, whatever. So I don't really have any consequences for like saying things. You know what I mean? And so this is like all contextual because it's important. So my mind is blown about biker gangs selling drugs. Doesn't make any sense to me. I've never had consequences, you know, of saying inappropriate things because upper middle class white guy, right? And so we're at my street smart friend's house, and the drug dealer shows up, and by now I'm fucking hammered. So now the filter's really off, you know, because we were just pounding beers. So as soon as the guy shows up, I go, "Oh, is it true? Do you know the Hells Angels? Do you work for the Hells Angels?" Dude. Imagine a drug dealer showing up and you ask them about the hierarchy of their organization, right? How did I not get fucking killed on the spot? You know, just smoked. I mean, the answer is because you're dealing with someone who is a year older than you and like probably about as white, you know, and like about as upper middle class. So, I mean, that's how. But dude, still insane to just a drug dealer shows up and like first thing out of your mouth is like, "So, like, can you tell me about the structure of your illegal organization? Like, I'd like to take some notes." And then the best part too is like, I think I like followed up with like, no, like, I'm not a cop. I'm just curious. I'm just curious. This was before Vice was around, right? And so if we wanted answers to cool questions, we had to put ourselves in mortal danger to get them. You know, now, first it was Vice doing it. Now it's Andrew Callahan, Channel 5 News, shouts out. But before those guys existed, you just had to be stupid like me and be like, "So, like, how does drug dealing work?" Anyway, that happened. What else we got? Bitching on the subway. I'm getting older. I'm getting cuntier, you know. I'm turning into my parents, both of them, you know, in different ways, mom and dad. Channeled my mom the other morning, you know. Get on the metro. Fuck, I just spat. Oh, dude. Spat jube in here. Get on the metro. It's like 7 in the morning because, oh, I'm going to the gym, whatever. Get on the metro. It's like 7 in the morning. Sit down, chill. I was like, I like the metro ride, right? Most of the time it's quiet. Not this morning. Some dumb fuck was listening to his phone without headphones on, right? 7 a.m. 7 a.m., okay? I'm fucking pissed. On top of that, lately, the Metro has been running a campaign that's like, hey, wear your fucking headphones, right? There's signs all around that say, put your fucking headphones on. So, long story short, this guy's blasting tinny 7 a.m. So I just I just go to him. I'm like, hey, man. I say it in French first, just to be safe. Avez-vous des écouteurs? Okay. And he goes, sorry, what? And I was like, do you have headphones? And then he goes, oh, sorry. And then I went like this. I went, yeah. So, yeah, but it was just that last cunty remark. You know what I mean? Where I was like, he was like, oh, sorry. I was like, yeah. Fucking yeah, dude. Idiot. So, yeah, pretty cunty. Pretty cunty. Definitely turning it into my mom on that one for sure. But my mom is a saint. I love you, Ma. Oh, dude. I just got back from Utah with Caitlin. Me and Utah were camping, or me and Caitlin were camping in Utah. Utah is beautiful. The U.S. has so much variance in geography. Like, the U.S. is truly a beautiful country. Like, its geography and its landscape, it's fucking gorgeous. You know, like, dude, it's so crazy. You're driving in these like canyons, right? As you come into, we were in the city was called Moab, and it's Arches National Park. It's like Bugs Bunny and Roadrunner vibes, you know, or sorry, Roadrunner and Coyote vibes. And it's like Redstone, the fucking arches, you know what I mean? So anyway, you're driving in and you see like the canyons. You can see how it's a tectonic plate. You can see the fucking plate rising up out of the earth, you know, just, you know, like it was so fucking cool. And like huge, massive chunks of stone. And you can see that it doesn't look like, obviously there's mountains, but like when you look at a mountain, you're like, it doesn't look really like a plate. You know what I mean? It looks like a mountain. It looks like a spike or like a triangle. Here you could see like straight plates. Like you're like, oh, that's a tectonic plate. You can see it right there. It's rising out of the earth. You can see it. It was so fucking rad. It was so cool. But anyway, I bring this up because it's in Utah, which is Mormon country, which means that the liquor licenses are more strict. But it was really just this Utah, like that had something to do with this. But really, it was just like the scenery for where these two things happen. It was, well, yeah, sure, the liquor license. So, ironically, in Utah, in Mormon country, I had some of the best alcoholic drinks I've ever had. Me and Caitlin found this place. It was like Mexican, you know. There's a ton of Mexican food joints down there because it's like south. But they had these like frozen pineapple margaritas that were, oh my God, because it's the desert, right? So during the day it gets like 30 Celsius and it's like dry and hot, you know. So all you want is just cool water. It's so the basically the schedule was we get up from our campsite, wake up at like 6 before the sun comes out, go for a hike until about 1 because it gets too hot. Then you come back, then we get these margarita drinks, these frozen margarita drinks. They were so fucking good. And because the place that we got them at closed at 2 p.m. It was like a breakfast lunch joint. So we got to rush in to get these drinks because they're fucking chronic, you know? So we get them and then we go swim in like this stream that was nearby. It's like crystal clear stream because it's not like out here in Canada where all the water is like all the streams are like, it's kind of like swampy and murky because there's a lot of like earth out here and like vegetation. So like the water is not always clear because of all the like detritus and decomposing organic material and whatever. In the desert, there's fucking nothing, right? So the water is crystal clear because there's nothing to not even pollute it with, but there's no like sediment in it because it's just water running over rock. So it's like, oh, it's so gorgeous. So we go chill out in that. And so that was like basically the schedule. But these drinks were so good that we hit them up every day, and we came back. So we came back in and we'd order the margaritas, and it's a 2-drink maximum. So you can't order more than 2 drinks because fucking Utah. So every day we'd order our 2-drink margaritas and then we'd rip. But Caitlin kept seeing on the menu the pina colada, which is made from like real fresh coconut milk. And we're like, fuck, I bet you that's so fucking good because these other drinks are so good. We got to hit that, you know? But we were like, but we couldn't get off of the pineapple margaritas. They were too chronic. They would do frozen and then they'd put a little tagine like in the drink. So it was like sweet margarita and a little spice. Oh, dog. We couldn't get off them. They were so good. And, you know, we couldn't go hang out in the night because it closed at fucking 2. So every day we'd have to get our 2 and then bail. And we just didn't get our shit together. We didn't sample it. And then we're leaving. We had to leave at like 7 a.m., you know, the morning of our departure. And we're leaving. We're packing up. We're like, fuck, we never tried the pina coladas. And we're like, dude, we'll just go right now in the morning, you know, and sample it. I won't throw. Caitlin was like, how are we going to do it? I was like, we'll just go now. It opens at 7 and we'll order. Like, who gives a shit? We're on vacation. Doesn't matter, right? But of course, we show up, and there's 2 people waiting to be served, like waiting to be seated. And we had the same waitress every day. So she was like, oh, you know, fucking these idiots again. She's there when we come in. And we come in the door. There's these 2 people sitting there to witness our bullshit. And we go, hey. And she's like, do you want to be seated? And we're like, well, no. We just want some drinks. And she's like, you mean like some fruit juice? And we're like, no, we were hoping to get one of your pina coladas. It's like 7:15, and she kind of like looks at her watch and looks it up, and she's like a pina colada with booze, and we were like, yeah. And she was like, well, the bar doesn't open till 11, and the subtext was, you fucking alcoholics. She was like, so, she was like, do you want to eat? And I was like, nope. And then we got the fuck out of there. And I could see the people sitting down just being like, what the fuck, bro? Like, do you need a hand? You know? So that was pretty hilarious. And then we're leaving. We're driving out through the beautiful scenery, and there's like a tourist trap ranch with like cafe and some other bullshit, you know? And then me and Caitlin stop in to get a coffee and like a treat and shit. Oh fuck, Schmaltz's skin is coming off. We stop and get a treat and shit. And I'm looking at the menu, and there's some kid there, and he's fucking stunned. You know, again, it's like 7:15. There's nobody there. He's just, you know, I'm like, hey man. He's kind of like, you know, and so he's just out of it. I'm looking at the menu, and I'm in vacation mode, so I'm in for a little treat. And I see there's like something called like the special, you know, and I'm like, whoa. And its description is 2 of our famous big cookies with ice cream in the middle, you know. And I was like, fuck, that sounds tight. The cookies it's America, so the cookies are big, right? They're like bigger than my palm, you know. They're bigger than Subway cookies. Like, they're big boys. They're probably like 5-6 inches in diameter, maybe 7. They're big guys. And I'm like, oh fuck yeah, that sounds tight. So I'm like, I'll have the special. And he looks at me. He's like, what? He goes like, what is that? I'm like the special, because it's written on a chalkboard. And he looks down and he reads the chalkboard, and he's like, oh, no one's ever ordered that before. And I was like, all right, then just fucking forget it. You know what I mean? Like, don't worry about it. So it was a D-Gen morning. It was a morning of me and Caitlin, specifically me. I won't throw Caitlin on the bus. Like, trying to be a D-Gen, and the people I was trying to, you know, get my fix from were just like, dude, like, are you good? You know, like, it's 7 a.m. You want a pina colada and a fucking huge soft serve ice cream sandwich between 2 fucking giant cookies? How you not 500 pounds? You know? I was like, shut up. Give me my pina colada and ice cream sandwich. So it's a good holiday, good holiday. Oh yeah, and then on the other holiday, we were also in Aspen for a wedding. We stayed at an Airbnb, and what happens when you get to an Airbnb? When you get to an Airbnb, you've had a full day of traveling. You're fucking tired. All you want to hear is just, here's the key, bye, right? I don't want to fucking talk to the host. I don't care about this shit. I just want to chill, bro. Like, let's talk tomorrow, even like in a couple hours. Let's have a fucking chat. I'll hang out with you. Right now, I'm trying to sit and be quiet because I just had a stimulus day of sweat and noise and people who are too close to me, and I'm trying to chill, And the fucking Airbnb host has given us a tour, right, of our room and like the amenities, which is like, it's a house. How many fucking amenities could you have? There was like, she had a hot tub and she was like, you can't use that. And I was like, tight, But she was like, we get in, she's like, hey, welcome. She was really nice, to be fair. She was very nice. But she's like, hey, welcome. Then she's like, I just need to show you how stuff works, right? And then proceeds to show us the most basic home, She's like, this is the sink. Of course, you can drink the tap water. And then she's like, here are the cups. You can use them to drink the water. And then she's like, here's your room. There are lights here and here. Here's the TV remote. Have you seen one of these before? I was like, believe it or not, I have. I'm pretty much a pro with a TV remote. Power, volume, channel, source. Dude, I got them all. I got them down. She's like, here are the windows. You can open them. I was like, bitch, I fucking live in a home. I know how it works. God, give me the key and fuck off. Oh, she was very nice, though. What the fuck? Oh, yeah. Dude, then you're coming back on the flight, and I thought this was funny. They added in their safety videos, the official videos that play on the headrest things. They added in this line. They're like, if you lose your phone in your seat, do not try to adjust your seat. Signal for a flight attendant and they will come and assist you. And I was like, man, how many people have dropped their phones in the seat and then adjusted their seat and crushed their phone that they had to put this in the video? And then I was also wondering, like, how many fucking Americans probably sued, I was on Delta because it was an American flight, probably sued Delta to be like, your seat broke my phone. It's like, I was just picturing, the fucking tickets and emails just like rolling in. Like, my phone got crushed, It was just kind of funny. Oh, and then I just saw a Metro driver who was completely on her phone, And it's like, oh, that's why there's always delays on the orange line, because she was just like, looking down, like, doors open, and she just was fucking on reels. Fuck, dude. If I die because of a middle-aged lady was watching how to make, sweet potato pie on reels, that's going to be a rough eulogy. That's all I can say. So, Metro drivers, please watch the road. I'm not going to be a narc and be like, it was this lady. One, because I have no way of doing that. I don't have a picture. I don't have a fucking video. I don't have anything, But more importantly, because I'm not a fucking narc. And even if she is doing something that could be dangerous, honestly, I'm not even sure if it would be dangerous. Because I'm sure driving a Metro is not that hard. It's on fucking rails, How hard can it be? Let me guess. You got accelerate, decelerate, and the door button, Come on. Who we kidding here, So if you've been working on the Metro for like 5 years and you got that shit on lock, hell, if you've been working on the Metro for like 2 months, and you got the 3 buttons down, dude, fucking scroll it up, man. It's a long day, 8 hours. You got to get through it, and the Metro here is always on time and fucking works. So, shouts out, scroll it up. Things I hate, 68, the rhyming episode, ain't it great? Don't play or hate, appreciate. That's it. That's all from me. Love you guys tons. Schmaltz says bye, and yeah, fucking see you next time. Bye.